What's up guys, welcome to another video. Today I am going to be going through 10 symptoms of bipolar disorder. So, I said a little disclaimer right here. I am not a psychiatrist, I am not a doctor, I am not saying if you have all these symptoms you are bipolar, because there is no way on earth that I can know that. If you do have some of these symptoms, maybe go speak to a doctor, counsellor, whoever it is, and hopefully you will get the right support. So the first 5 symptoms are going to be for the mania. And then, so the first symptom of mania is very, very high energy. And we are talking about like high energy, like wanting to do everything, talking all the time, having all this energy is like releasing out of you, and people sometimes are like, whoa, like where is that coming from? And you want to do everything, you want to do every single thing there is to do right there, right now. It is unstoppable, which obviously can be a good thing if you want to do a lot of things, but obviously there is no way that you can stay in that sort of set forever. The second symptom of mania is like wild fantasies / hallucinations. And I guess when people think about hallucinations, they're like, oh, like seeing things or hearing things. You can get that with mania. Or for people with bipolar, it's more like, a grandiosity, if I've said that correctly. You believe that you're better than everyone else, not in a way that's bad, but just because your brain is telling you that. So like for me personally, I believed I was God. I thought I was better than everyone. Everyone has to do everything my way or the highway. And I guess I had sort of hallucinations. My last manic episode, I was on the roof talking to squirrels. I thought the squirrel like had the ideas about the world. I don't know. Michael the squirrel. But yeah, it is a very, very common symptom of mania, unfortunately. The third symptom of mania is racing thoughts. So when I say racing thoughts, I mean thoughts in your mind going 100 miles per hour. You're thinking of doing that, then you're thinking of doing that, and then this, and then that, then this, then that, this, that, this, that, this, that, this, that, all the time. But obviously with that and the high energy, you're gonna do it all as well. So it's like you could be sat there and someone will say, what are you thinking? And you're like, well, I don't know, because there's like 100 bazillion thoughts in my head. And that is a very, very common symptom of mania. The fourth one is something that isn't really talked about as much, I don't think, and that is aggression, because aggression is actually a very, very common symptom of bipolar, and it's not talked about enough. I think the reason why you become aggressive is because you are going 100 miles per hour and everyone else can't do that. You know, no one can do that for days on end, or weeks, months on end. No one can do that. So when you are going 100 miles per hour and no one else is keeping up with you, it's like you get very irritable and aggressive because no one else is keeping up with you. Or people might say that, calm down, or and you can't. You physically cannot calm down. So yeah, that is another tricky little symptom of mania. And one of the other main symptoms of mania is reckless behavior. And What I mean by this is excessive drinking, drugs, spending. I know for me, when I'm manic, I just want to get everything and anything. It could be something that I could be allergic to, and I'll probably get it because your brain isn't comprehending with what you're doing, and that's why a lot of people with bipolar end up in debt, or they end up having to go into rehab because of drugs and alcohol problems, which is really sad. So before we go into the depressive symptoms, I have to say with bipolar, people think you go up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. However, you do have a middle ground. So you may have a depressive episode, and then you may be stable for a while, and then you go into a manic episode. And this is something that distinguishes between bipolar and borderline personality disorder, I think. But with bipolar, we do have a middle ground, so we don't just go into one and then the other. It doesn't work like that. Thank God. So the first symptom of the depressions is hopelessness. You may feel like you don't want to do anything, or you may feel like you're never going to get better, and some people may even stop taking their medications because what's the point if you're not going to get better? Unfortunately. The second symptom of bipolar depression is harming. So you may self-harm, you may have thoughts of suicide, you may attempt suicide. Unfortunately, a lot of people with bipolar do engage in these behaviours, and I think rightfully so, because your brain isn't really working that well, and even with medication sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes you may just have to go with the highs and lows for the rest of your life, and I don't know, that's pretty depressing. Another symptom is not a lot of energy, and this could be due to the depression, but I think also a lot of the meds we take for bipolar have a side effect of drowsiness and sedating. I think it's so sad that it does, because you just want the high energy, and so you do have not a lot of energy, unfortunately. Another symptom of the bipolar depression is very irritable. You feel very irritable. People to snap out of it, or just be happy, or oh, you're fine, just take your meds, and it does get you very irritable, because no matter what you do, there's a chemical imbalance in your brain and you can't stop it. There is no way that you can just say, okay, I'm gonna wake up and I'll be normal today. Normal. It's not gonna happen, unfortunately. I wish it did. And the last symptom of a bipolar depression is sleeping. You may sleep too much, you may sleep too little, and obviously this affects your mood even more, because if you sleep too little, then you're gonna be even more depressed and irritable, because your brain hasn't had enough time to refunction. So these of bipolar, and like I said at the beginning, if you do have a lot of these signs, then I really do suggest that you seek help. Hopefully it can be treated sooner rather than later. I think the more you leave it, the worse it gets. So I really do suggest getting help sooner rather than later. And I hope this video hasn't been too depressing, because obviously bipolar is a very, very sensitive subject to me, because I have bipolar, but obviously not a lot of the population really know what it is. So I hope maybe these are the symptoms that you might see in family members. Maybe mention it to them. Maybe we should take a visit to a doctor. But on a positive note, me and Jordan are off to Disneyland for New Year's, so it's always good to end a video on a positive note. Love you, bye.